Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Shit Cooking. I have hiccups. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Shit Cooking. Here's some news before I begin. School starts tomorrow as I'm filming this, and I'm hoping this year maybe I can get some education in. I haven't been able to go to school since 7th grade, so hopefully my boss lets me go to school this year so I can catch up. However, I recently caught wind of an ongoing pandemic or something, so hopefully that doesn't interfere, I hope. Anyway, today we're going to be cooking French bread, except I didn't look up any recipes. All of my information was gathered from this on the back of some yeast. This recipe calls for 1 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 ounce of some dry yeast. It also calls for 2 teaspoons of oil, but I don't have any vegetable oil, so I kinda can't do that one. The only reason you would add oil to one of these recipes is to make the crust less thick so you can cut it more easily, so yeah, it's not needed. I did some research. But today we're making French bread. So instead of only 2 tablespoons of sugar, we're going to add probably quadruple that. And we're also gonna add 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Like I said, I didn't search up any recipes, so I don't know what I'm doing. First step, grab your flour, 1 cup to be exact, and put your 1 cup of flour inside the mixing bowl. Once you've done so, you can add your cinnamon, salt, and sugar to the mixing bowl as well. So you need 1 teaspoon of salt. Here's our teaspoon. And goes in. Now let's add in our 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh, and did I mention that this is like from 2012? My boss really needs to get me some new cooking supplies. Screw the lid on. And now let's add 1/4 cup of the sugar. Dig in there. Boom. I didn't get a full 1/4 cup, so add some more. Shake it up. Let's mix this up a little more. Alright. The recipe next calls for 1 cup of water that's been heated up to 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just gonna make a rough estimate and use the microwave. We're gonna be using the Savage bowl, of course. And into the microwave it goes. Oh yeah, I also have this handy dandy thermometer. How the f do I use this thing? The current temperature of the water is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's start the microwave. Let's do 1 minute. Finished. Check the temperature. Yep, we're good. Okay. Here we are. And then we pour it in. And then we mix at slow speed. It smells like cinnamon and flour. It stinks. We're supposed to do this for 3 to 4 minutes. It's like cake batter. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add the yeast. Let's cut it open. Let's just add it in now. Stir it up. Keep mixing. Wonder how it tastes. Like salt. Oh, my arm is already tired. That's what you get for sitting in the basement 24/7 editing. My boss doesn't let me outside, so I can't exercise. Cooking takes a lot of exercise. Even a guy who's shit at cooking knows that. Okay, I say we're done, because my arms are really hurting, and I've been stirring it enough to the point where it's just kind of mixed well. Next step, beat in the last 2 cups of flour. I bent the measuring cup. So we need to dump in enough flour to make this a kneadable dough. Oh god, I'm gonna bend the whisk. It's really coming to shape right now. Oh, look at that stretch. 1 more cup. Let's not add like a full cup, but oh man, I am oh, there's so much flour stuck in. Should I just like poke it out or what? Ugh. Andrew, you got this. Next thing we're gonna need to do is move this to the side. Get this all out of here. Let's grab a handful of flour and just kind of spread it on there. There we go. I cannot touch the camera now. Let's just get all of our dough onto the cutting board. Ugh. It's all over my hands. All right, let's start kneading it. It's on the floor now. How do you knead dough? Like, it's just so sticky. I think you're supposed to like roll it into the flour and then you mix it up. Gordon Ramsay, I disappoint you. What do you reckon? I add more flour. Spread it about and roll it in. Oh, that's better. And turn to grease top. What's a grease top? Mistakes are being made, but you know, I'm having fun, so I don't really care. Most fun I had since my boss captured me. I mean, I got employed by my boss. Who knew people who worked at bakeries had to be thick arm people? Trying to get it off my fingers. Get more dough into this thing. All right, let's add some more. Because it's still pretty sticky. It's not smooth yet. Oh, this is feeling much better now. Oh, my hands. Oh, this hurts so much. Did I mention I don't wash my hands that often? Imagine if someone's trying to rob my house right now, and they just hear me saying all of these things, and they think I'm like doing something terrible, like something really gross. I'm just kneading dough, robber. Would you like to come help me? Okay, I did some research, and apparently turning to grease top means oiling a bowl, and then putting oil on top of the dough, and then leaving it there for like 40 minutes, sorry. Let me just kind of knead this up so it doesn't form a crust. You know, I just thought, should I add some like honey to this? Make it kind of like a sweet honey bread? I'm gonna do that actually. And you can't stop me, random bakers that are watching my videos. Wait, I don't even know where the honey is. I'm not gonna add too much, but I do want to add a little bit. Kind of a tiny bit. Just like that much. This is gonna be the tastiest French bread and the last French bread I ever make. Oh, I can hear it popping and stuff. That's kind of cool. Oh, it smells awesome. Okay, now we grab olive oil, because that's all I had. Extra virgin. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. So the bowl is supposed to be lightly oiled. That was way too much oil. So now let's just kind of mix it in. Kind of get it all over the sides. I'm getting a phone call. Hey, Dad. All right, I'm gonna stick it in here and just roll it around in the olive oil because I used too much. There we go. Now I'm gonna grab me some plastic wrap. My hands are covered in oil. There we go. All right, now I'm going to leave this for 40 minutes. All right, it's been 40 minutes, and here is our dough that's just been sitting here. So I'm gonna take up this saran wrap. We're gonna put 2 fingers in, and it looks like the finger holes stay there. So now what we do, take this all off and put the dough onto another floured surface. And then we mush it down into a shape. And then eventually I'll grab a bottle to flatten it out. Stretch it around. Wee, cookie shapes. It smells pretty nice. All right, I got a bottle. Start rolling this thing out. Get all the bubbles out of it. I'm gonna add some more flour to this cutting board because it clearly needs some more. That probably wasn't enough. I have a better idea. Let's put flour on top of this. Then let's smooth it out and flip it over. I'm smart. Let's just roll it out nice and thin. Let's try and get some bubbles out of this thing. So now what you're supposed to do is roll it up as best as you can. Make sure you don't get any air bubbles, or at least get as few air bubbles as possible. And boom. Now it's a weird looking burrito thing. Then you just kind of squish out the sides and pinch them in like a dumpling. And then we do it to the other side. Let's kind of pinch up this edge here. And now we move that off to the side so we can grab this already oiled tray. Kind of roll it into that oil. Kind of press it down some actually. Plastic wrap. I hate this stuff. That was not enough to cover it. Either way, we'll just stick it on one side. Now let's get some more. Smooth it out. And now we leave this for another 40 minutes. So I ended up taking the dough out of the tray and then washing the tray, and I'm currently preheating my oven to 375 degrees on the bake mode. While my oven is preheating, I'm going to undo this. I'm gonna start flattening this out into more like a smaller bread shape. So it can already fit in this tray, but I want it to fit in this tray a little better. So I'm gonna kind of compress it. I'm gonna squeeze it together where it's kind of unfolding. Squeeze it together more. Looks like that should fit. I'm just gonna grab like a little tiny drop of olive oil. Just a very tiny drop on there. And I'm gonna spread it. That should make sure that the French bread will not stick. I'm just hoping nothing catches fire. All right, so now we have our bread dough sitting here. Just slot it in. Let's close it at 375 for 35 minutes. And now I will watch it intensely. It's not like I have anything better to do. Of course my phone goes off as soon as that dings. All right. Whiff of smoke. That's fun. Now what I'm gonna do is set it right here. As a test, we're gonna tap it with a knife. But first I'm gonna move this camera. All right, and here's the tap. Ooh, actually, it's not that bad. The crust kind of feels hard, but like, it squishes. That's not actually that bad. Thumbnail shot. Now let's try cutting this thing. Oh, it broke off. Looks like the bottom's burnt. Okay, now let's try and do the cut. Maybe if I use my other hand. I'm gonna flip the bread around. Okay, now let's do the cut. Oh, yeah, that feels nice. Oh, it like, ha! It's coming apart in weird layers. It's almost like it didn't finish cooking. It still looks like raw dough on the inside. Either way, let's do a taste test. We're gonna grab just a middle piece with all like the dough. It just tastes like sweet bread. Except even the sweet taste is barely there. I mean, I tried, but it's squishy. It's like, it bounces back when you squish on it, so it's, the yeast at least activated. I'm gonna try putting this back in the oven for like another 10 minutes maybe. It's done again. It smells really nice, honestly. I don't think it's gonna get much better. Either way, let's cut into it again. Except I don't feel like moving the camera. Let's just cut in. The bottom is frustrating to cut through, but, you know, it is burnt, so... Ugh. Yeah, it's still really doughy. It's basically like zucchini bread. It's kind of doughy, but it's still got, like, bubbles in it, so... I'll call that done, because my mom's gonna be home soon. So, thank you everyone for watching this episode of Andrew's Shit at Cooking. I hope you enjoyed. So now, enjoy this bread, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Mom's home.
Are you in the middle of your cooking video?
No, I finished it. Would you like a taste test of my horribly made French bread?
Sure.
Okay.
You made this?
Yes.
How?
Here, you can... It's not even, like, done. It's kind of doughy still, but it just tastes like really not flavorful French bread.
Very plain.
Yeah. I don't think I gave it enough time to, like, settle, like, the yeast and stuff.
Somewhat sweet, but it's not awful.
It's not awful. At least it's not awful.
What is that?
It's French bread, but it tastes really bland. Hurry up, my camera's dying.
Hurry it up. Why? I have to eat it?
Yes, try it. Try a bite of, like, the crust area, because that tastes the best.
It's got cinnamon in it.
Yeah. Like French bread, maybe.
Like French toast bread?
French toast bread, yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. Why did it do that?
Oh, that's the inside of it. That didn't really...
Also like a cinnamon roll is what he's trying to do.
It looks like a cinnamon roll, but that's how I was going for, like, French toast. But yeah, it didn't really... The yeast didn't activate very much.
It's not horrible.
Granite wants some.
Blah.